Hello and welcome to this special edition of Focus on the Future. I'm Council Chair Derrick Davis. Thank you for tuning in. We are moving forward with purpose in Prince George's County for a quality of life that brings us better schools, better access to health care, more transportation options, and new business and job opportunities. We cannot achieve these goals without the leadership and critical support of Maryland state lawmakers. Recently, I traveled to the State House in Annapolis for this very special edition of Focus on the Future, and I cannot wait to share with you my conversations with Senate President Thomas V. Mike Miller and Speaker of the House Michael E. Mike Busch. Stay tuned. You do not want to miss Focus on the Future. It comes your way in just a moment.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome to Focus on the Future, a production of the Prince George's County Council. We're breaking new ground every day in Prince George's County, doing big things on purpose and celebrating major projects like the Regional Medical Center, new places to live, work, shop, and play, and the expansion of National Harbor. We're enhancing our quality of life and on our way to becoming the region's next economic powerhouse. This is Focus on the Future with your host, Council Chairman Derrick Davis.
Hi, and thank you for tuning in to this special edition of Focus on the Future. This program is a production of the Prince George's County Council. I'm your host, Council Chair Derrick Davis. For this very special edition of Focus on the Future, I visited the State House in Annapolis, where I had a great opportunity to meet with the Honorable Senate President Thomas V. Mike Miller and talk about Prince George's County. Well, good day, Council Chairman Derrick Davis, Prince George's County Council, and it's just a great opportunity to sit and leave Prince George's County, the big town of Upper Marlboro, and come on down in the state of Maryland to the big town of Annapolis. We're fortunate today to sit with our presiding officers, and I'm fortunate to sit with an icon of Prince George's County, the state of Maryland. Heck, the entire United States knows Thomas V. Mike Miller. Mr. Miller is a product of Prince George's County, a true Prince Georgian. And he was born in Clinton, Maryland, and he and his wife raised their family in Clinton, Maryland. Just share a little bit more about the Miller family and your relationship and ties to Prince George's County.
Well, the family's been there for really hundreds of years. We're all families of immigrants, but German ancestry came there, the Irish ancestry came there, they merged with people from Virginia and Maryland, what have you, but they were hard-working farmers. My grandfather started a retail store in 1913 in Clinton, Maryland. And he married a lady from there. They moved to top the store, and the store's been there for 103 years. And we've been there. We're very comfortable there. My son is the 5th generation to walk to Surrattsville School.
Wow, Surrattsville High School.
That's exactly right.
We was Surrattsville, Gwynn Park, and we used to have a great rivalry back in the day. I went to Central High School in Central Prince George's County far after that. And we're extremely proud as Prince Georgians to claim you as the senator as well as the longest standing Senate president in the country since 1987.
Well, I love Prince George's County history. I love African American history. I love the state of Maryland history, and I study history every night. And if you keep studying history, you understand who's going to make mistakes before they do. You can avoid mistakes, and you can learn from other people. And so it's helped me along the way, along the fact that I'm the oldest of 10 children, and I had a strong mom and dad, and also worked in the grocery store. From the time I was 10 till I was 24, where the customer was always right.
That's right.
Somebody said their Harvard was a whaling ship, mine was a grocery store,
Right. I mean, and you've shown that with the ability to work with the senators from across the entire state. The state of Maryland is a very diverse state. Many people know that we are a quote-unquote blue state, but that diversity shines forth in how you operate on the Senate. And none has shined forth more than in the last legislative session when we in Prince George's County County, and as appreciative as we are with the Regional Medical Center conversation, would you think of that as one of your crowning accomplishments in the 2016 session?
For Prince George's County, because people don't understand what that means.
Right.
You know, we got people moving away from uncompensated care in Prince George's County. We are bringing a teaching hospital,
right,
a world-class teaching hospital to Inner Beltway, Prince George's County. University of Maryland system coming here. The head of the surgery department there did a face transplant. It took 24 hours. I mean, this is major stuff coming to Prince George's County. And the deal had been working for 5 years under Governor O'Malley. Then Governor Hogan came in and said, well, this is not my deal.
Right.
Well,
right.
we need to make it your deal. Well, anyway, this past session, the budget came in, nothing was done. Nothing was done.
Right.
So we said, Governor, if you're not going to do it, we're going to do it. We put in a bill to mandate it. And then he said, okay, well, let me negotiate. So he tried to negotiate with Prince George's County, and it got to be lawyering.
Right.
You know, if there's a lawsuit, what county is it going to be in?
Right.
This is not legally binding. I said, Governor, this is not going to work. We're going to mandate it. $200 million from the county, $200 million from the state, $200 million from the University of Maryland system, and $15 million ongoing. And we're going to get this thing done.
Right.
And it's going to get done.
We appreciate that, Senator. And as you said, just tongue-in-cheek prior, poster child for term limits. No, if not the history isn't there, then these types of things fall through the cracks. And so we as Prince Georgians are grateful and appreciative with regard to that.
When you have seniority.
That's right.
You have seniority. You know, I appoint the chairman of the committees. I appoint the members of the committees. I point who's on the budget committees,
right,
who the majority leader is, who the majority whip is, et cetera. And so you have a little bit of stick accumulated from time, and I was able to use that to benefit Prince George's County.
So in the years that you've served, and it's been several, I mean, as you think about Prince George's County over those decades of service, what do you think the perception is amongst your colleagues here in the State House with regard to where Prince George's was, where it is now, and where it's going?
We couldn't be prouder of Prince George's County. Prince George's County is now the most affluent, majority African-American county in the United States, and positive things are happening. You know, Westphalia, I ride Route 4 and I see Westphalia development. I see MGM on the border there. I see what's happening in College Park, a new 4-star hotel going up there, a new computer center going there. You know, a new engineering building.
And collectively, none of this could happen without the support of the Maryland State Legislature and the Senate.
Well, it's a county council. I like to give credit for Sherman Baker.
Okay.
You know, I couldn't have gotten MGM done without him, honestly and truly. It's been my goal for years to have something positive like that. When I first started in politics, National Harbor was a gravel pit. And now we got MGM there and the beautiful National Harbor there, these lovely residences. And but Rushern said, look, I can be for casino gambling, and as long as the money goes to education.
Right, right.
And then we were able to attract MGM to Prince George's County. And
I remember the day, you know, originally that in the state of Maryland, most people were a little leery with regard to table games. Right. So the reality of MGM coming to the National Harbor kind of opened up to move towards a resort casino. What do you think the difference between our approach in Maryland at first and the change that's coming with MGM? What do you think the revenue will do? Is it a more robust situation? Is it something that, you know, ultimately we could become essentially the tourist attraction of the East Coast? Like everyone has a tourist attraction. I think Vegas probably has the greatest amount of tourism, and then New York, and then Washington, D.C. Looks like Prince George's County is on its way.
It was something we had to do, quite frankly, because revenues were going to West Virginia. They
right.
were going to New York. They were going to New Jersey. They were going to Pennsylvania.
Leaving Maryland, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Leaving Maryland. And so, but now we're able to bring some of that money from Virginia.
That's right.
We're able to get the conventioneers from Washington, D.C. to Maryland.
That's right.
You know, we're going to have a huge venue for major events in Prince George's County. The whole world is going to be focusing on Prince George's County, Maryland. Just across the river from Mount Vernon,
right?
You know, just immediately adjacent to the capital of the free world, Washington, D.C. There's not a better spot in the whole United States than what we have for MGM. And Prince George's County is blossoming and growing, and the council, the county executive, the legislature coming together and making positive things happen.
I appreciate that. And when you think about it, the first law of business and the first law of real estate is location, location, location. Right. And Prince George's County has become that place to be. Just a couple more things, and I know, and we certainly look at it in collaboration with the county executive, the Board of Education, our CEO of schools that we plucked out of the Speaker of the House's jurisdiction in Anne Arundel County. We're in the process of looking at how we, and we use the word audit, but it's a loose interpretation of the word audit, but it's a continuous business improvement process. Basically how we get more bang for every dollar that we use in our school system. Just if you could, think about your years of service and how things like that have generated positive outcomes.
Well, you know, first of all, you got to look at change. Okay, obviously, when I grew up, it was rural. The state wasn't providing the support for the schools that they are now at the current time. People would see the rural areas and there was very little support. Right. So my high school baseball uniforms had sponsors on the back of them. Frank Small Used Cars, you know, on the back of a high school team. You know,
okay.
But we recognize now the value of every aspect of Prince George's County, from the most rural part down to Quasco, up to Laurel, to Oxon Hill, and all in between, and especially the Inner Beltway area. Yeah. It's growing, and people come together to understand that, what's happening in Prince George's County. And fortunately, our county executive and our council are working together with our legislature and bringing businesses to Prince George's County, and not just bringing them in, but growing businesses in Prince George's County. You know, for example, this year we brought together the University of Maryland College Park with the University of Maryland Baltimore. So now we're going to have the law school coming to Prince George's County, nursing coming to Prince George's County, social work coming to Prince George's County. Wow. And Prince George's County is just going to continue to grow.
So we're awfully excited about the opportunities that have come with regard to transportation and transit in the state of Maryland. You know, oftentimes people forget that we go from rural to suburban in Prince George's County, and that's the same thing that you have to deal with in the state of Maryland. So from the perspective of transportation and transit, how do we balance those things with regard to the Purple Line and our transportation issues in the state of Maryland? What
we did was, fortunately, some Prince George's County legislator took some heroic stances. They voted for a gas tax. Yeah. You know, we modeled it after we had a Republican governor in Virginia. He was able to get it done. So I went to Governor O'Malley and others and said, look, we can get it done here in Prince George's County as well. Gas tax overall is down. We can increase the gas tax and use the money for roads, use the money, but also we've got that Purple Line coming to Prince George's County, which just means jobs, and more jobs. It also means access to jobs. Right. You know, it's about a quality of life issue, and it's about economic development as well. Prince George's County is on the cusp of greatness. Oh my goodness. Well, this 15 minutes that we had today is just, I hope, the blossoming opportunity of planting a seed for greater things in the future for Prince George's County in the state of Maryland, our relationship as the county council with the county executive, as we call it at home, the governing body, with our state legislature, and having a great historian, a great Senate president, someone who really cherishes the role and responsibility of being a consensus builder in the state of Maryland is quite an honor and a pleasure. So thank you very much for your time, Senator Miller. Brilliant. Thank you. It's time for a short break, but don't go away. There is much more to come as we continue this important discussion with the Speaker of the House, Michael E. Mike Busch. Focus on the Future returns in just a moment.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back to Focus on the Future, a production of the Prince George's County Council. I'm Council Chairman Derrick Leon Davis. I'm your host, and now I'm pleased to share with you my recent conversation with Speaker of the House, the Honorable Michael Lee, Mike Busch, and his thoughts about Prince George's County. Well, hi, this is Council Chairman Derrick Leon Davis, and I'm back here sitting, fortunately, with the Speaker of the Maryland House of Delegates, Mr. Busch. Mr. Busch is a good friend of ours. We actually have a mutual friend that he actually gave a great start in politics, making him chairman of a committee, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Let's start off talking about you, Speaker Busch. Before the political arena, there was sports, huh?
I was very involved in athletics, yes.
Someone told me that you almost were there being a running back for somebody. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I was very fortunate. Came out of St. Mary's High School, went to Temple University of Philadelphia. Played football there, actually held the rushing record. And unfortunately, in my junior year, I had my leg and my knee dislocated. That brought an end to it. But I had been courted by some professional teams at that point. But, you know, questions in that day and age was a little different. I mean, they weren't as big, as fast, as strong as the kids are today. But it was a great experience, and I was very fortunate when I left college that I came back and had the opportunity to be a head football and basketball coach at St. Mary's High School.
Okay.
So I really learned quite a bit more from athletics, from dealing with young kids, and as a high school coach than I did actually in playing. So, but great experience and a great training ground for the Maryland General Assembly.
Sounds like the ultimate speaker of the universe had a different plan for you and had to put you in that direction and put you on the course, because they say that all of the things that you do with regard to youth athletics are just renowned throughout the state.
Well, I've been very active in youth athletics. I think it gives an equal opportunity to every kid, helps keep them out of trouble, gives them goals, helps them interact with others, understand the difference in winning and losing and how to handle both, and growing up to be mature individuals, whether you're a young lady or a young man. I mean, Title IX's been the greatest thing that happened to women's athletics as well, and it's given them great opportunities to enjoy team participation in sports and individual accomplishments in athletics. So.
Great job. We appreciate it. And you know, as elected officials, we share very similar priorities: health, education, economic development. Your leadership and support here in Annapolis has done much to contribute to the greater quality of life for Prince Georgians, and I really want to say thank you for that on behalf of the County Council.
Well, let me just say this. I mean, had a lot of wonderful people to work with from Prince George's County, and they all bring a passion for doing something good for education.
Absolutely.
And you know, education is the great equalizer in my judgment. You give the opportunities for kids in education, can open a lot of doors, a lot of opportunities to go to college. So
talk to me about that, the last several sessions, and we have a new administration and we have a new governor, and we've had a lot of conversations over the last 2 years about education, health care, and more specifically, we have the Regional Medical Center, which we really have to thank the presiding officers for standing in the gap and ensuring that Prince Georgians and folks in Southern Maryland have the opportunity to great health care service. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, you know, we have strongly believed in the Prince George's County Hospital for the last few years. I mean, it's been a priority of the county executive. It was a priority of then Lieutenant Governor Anthony Brown. We put together an agreement with the University of Maryland Medical System to build a new state-of-the-art facility. It's part of our trauma network that not only affects Prince George's but the entire state of Maryland. When one part of your trauma network goes down, it just hurts everyone else. But you have the second largest subdivision in the state, and you need a premier hospital. And we made a decision this year that we were going to forward fund and tie up the money that was needed to build that hospital over the next 5 years. So the governor had left out money, as you know, for the Prince George's County Hospital. We decided as a legislature, both the House and the Senate, and Senator Miller played a key role in that as well, and put that together so that we start to move forward on the hospital. And our investment in schools, because you have growing enrollment, you got an extra $10 million this year, $46 million in total for school construction. We got $3.5 million, I believe, for turf fields. Priority for Jay Walker to see some of these high schools are competing with the private schools and other schools and jurisdictions.
So, Mr. Speaker, we've had great conversation about health care and education, which are critical to the vibrancy of a community, specifically in Prince George's County. And as I've said before, and I said to Senate President Miller, without your help, we would have had a very tough time ensuring that the heart of Prince George's County was taken well care of. And so we appreciate you much for that. Let's talk a little bit, though, about economic development from the perspective of both transportation and growing infrastructure. I know often in the state of Maryland, we have a challenge. We have our rural jurisdictions and we have our urban jurisdictions, and then some jurisdictions have a mix of all of those things. The Purple Line, one thing that we know we've connected on and making happen, but we don't want to make things happen at the expense of others. So how do we bring those pieces together and make sure that we cover all bases with regard to
first and foremost, the Purple Line is essential to move people back and forth to the workplace.
Absolutely.
You have two urban areas, and when you think about Montgomery and Prince George's County and Charles together, you're talking about over 2 million Marylanders.
Right.
That's better than 33% of the state of Maryland. One-third of the state of Maryland is in those three subdivisions. You have a very vibrant economy there. They have good paying jobs. They're going back and forth. And in order to be competitive, you have to have a transportation system that's going to attract businesses, because they want to know that their employees can get back and forth to work. And one of the things you have to take advantage of is a mass transit system that's going to be able to do that.
That's right.
And the Purple Line was essential. Now, let me just reiterate, you talked a little bit about other subdivisions getting money. They have. Originally, the state was going to put up $670 million for the Purple Line. The governor cut that back to about a little under $200 million. Right. So you're picking up some of the cost that was originally laid aside for you.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't feel bad about the investment you're getting from the state, because Prince George's County certainly stepped up to the plate in a big way for their portion of the Purple Line.
And we certainly appreciate your support over the years with regard to our transportation and transit issues. I think we all benefit from the opportunities like the Federal Bureau of Investigation that is considering a move to Prince George's County, bringing thousands of jobs, utilizing the University of Maryland, and where they say they get a lot of their employees. What's your thoughts about that?
Well, first of all, I mean, University of Maryland is one of the great research universities in the country. It is a huge economic engine for Prince George's County. To be able to attract the FBI headquarters would be a major accomplishment for the state of Maryland. And it benefits the entire region and the entire state. You're talking about better than 20,000 jobs when it's over, almost 12,000 from the FBI, plus the surrounding businesses that will settle there, the infrastructure, the labor and jobs that will be created there will have a great impact as well. But you can't just look at county lines anymore. I mean, when you have Fort Meade, and you have the National Business Park, and you have the FBI headquarters, you have the University of Maryland, Prince George's, Montgomery, Anne Arundel, Howard County, I mean, sometimes the lines are blurred.
That's right.
But it benefits all of us.
Yeah.
And I think the collaborative effort between county governments, and I know you meet with Maryland Association of Counties,
right.
The share information and things that you can work on together,
Right.
I think has been a great asset to the state and to the individual counties.
You know, so as a Prince Georgian who tries very hard not to be specifically parochial in a district, you know, I understand the reality, and having a very good friend and namesake who works in the state of Maryland, we often have to talk about how we work closely together with the other jurisdictions that have needs. I believe you guys have done one heck of a job balancing that, and we as Prince Georgians are very grateful and very appreciative to those efforts, and we're looking for ways to ensure that we articulate our concerns, that we articulate our visions, and that we make sure that they're part of how we operate in the state of Maryland. State of Maryland is #1 in education. We have some challenges that we're going to face, and we're grateful that you faced those down with us. We had challenges with regard to health care. We're grateful that you faced those challenges down with us. Transportation and our economy, they're next. Speaker Busch, I certainly appreciate this opportunity to talk with you, and I'll tell the other Derrick that you said he was doing an okay job.
No, he's doing better than okay, believe me. Derrick Davis is a superstar in Annapolis, believe me. Good to see you.
Thank you, Speaker Busch.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. I am deeply grateful to my guest on this special edition of Focus on the Future, the Honorable Senate President Thomas V. Mike Miller, and the Honorable House Speaker Michael E. Mike Busch. Prince George's County has greatly benefited from their leadership and partnership, and we appreciate their support. Thanks to our viewers for tuning in. This program is a production of the Prince George's County Council. I am Council Chairman Derrick Leon Davis, and I am focused on the future of Prince George's County.